once again, welcome back, and let's go on with the requests. And first of all, Kay asked about Metlife listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and she says she wants to buy it. But Kay, I'm a little bit worried. Look at the chart here. I mean, from 2020, $23.77, it went up almost in a straight line to $71. And what do I see here? And remember, this is a weekly chart. I see maybe just show you here what I see. I see a rising wedge. Now, a rising wedge always makes me a little bit nervous. That's the one thing. And the other thing is that I see it's touching right at the top of the resistance line. What happened in the past? The moment it gets close to this line, then suddenly some sellers coming around. And then what happened there again? It went to that resistance line, sell off again. Now the big thing now Metlife must either break above this line, that is $71.87. Then you can buy it or hold on to it if you've got some, but it looks like you want to buy it. Then you can hold on to it, and if you buy it above 71.87, make use of a stop loss of 64.02. Now, if it breaks above that 71 level that I gave you now, it can easily go, can you believe it, all the way to 80. So it just shows you there can be a lot of momentum. But of course, I'm nervous, and I'm always worried when I see a rising wedge. I will say there's the width of it. And what can I see here? If it breaks below that 71 level that I showed you now, sorry, not 71, level of 64.29, you can easily pay out and take the share back to 56.33. So it just shows you that it can give us a little bit of a correction. We've seen it with some technology shares. A few weeks ago, nobody could believe that like a share like Apple or one of those top companies like PayPal, they can maybe lose some of 30%, and this happens. So be a little bit careful. Maybe Metlife just had such a wonderful rally that you maybe need to a little bit be on the cautious side and just check it out before you just rush in to buy it. Willem, you ask about Google. Now, this is one of the shares, and I mean, this is a weekly chart. We're talking about corrections. Google, I mean, came back from $3,000, let's make it $3,000, all the way down to about $2,590 in a matter of a few weeks. What happens? It bounces back, and that just tells you a top quality company. And that's what a friend of mine said to me the other day. If you've got a top company like Google, it will never disappoint you. It can just go higher. Now, I'm a little bit on the conservative side. I say, listen, yes, it can bounce higher, but I always watch the trend line. Now, the trend is clearly to the upside. There's nothing wrong with it. And where will it break? Only below that 2,746. But for me, this is the crucial level. You can hold on to it. There's nothing wrong to hold on to it. The day when it breaks this little line, and that line is that support line at 2,596, I will say that the trend to the upside has been broken and that the share is preparing maybe of a sell-off. But at the moment, momentum to the top. Willem, you can actually add to the position if you're brave enough above 2,879. Make use of a stop loss of 2,700. And my target to the top will be that 3,000 level, and maybe it can surpass that and even go higher as the 3,000 level. Good company, solid stock. I mean, look at this weekly chart from 220 all the way up. It did not even show a little bit of weakness. Even if the Nasdaq was under pressure for a few weeks, it's like Google just came back and is turning out to be a good company again. Moritz is asking about Pfizer. Moritz, I mean, look at this chart. Same thing like Google or Alphabet nowadays. I mean, look at that. The momentum is clearly to the upside. I mean, these guys were big players in the vaccine. It just shows you momentum to the up from 2020. Beautiful 30% growth, then a 45% growth in the chart. It almost looks like everything is just 100% here. Nothing is wrong. And if you think about it, by the way, you can almost see another inverse head and shoulder. I just want to show you. There's the little line that I'm looking at. There you are. I just want to draw it in there. Beautiful chart. I'm going to show you something else now. Notice there's the inverse head and shoulder. The neckline is sitting at $54.58. If it turns out to turn into a support, that neckline can easily take the share back to a previous high if this inverse head and shoulder play out. Just want to show you there. This is a textbook stock here. Look at that. You can take it maybe a little bit higher. There you are, all the way back to 59.60. Notice if you want to buy it above this neckline. Make use of a stop loss of 52.68, and I hope it can go back all the way to the all-time high. But look at this classic chart. If I'd used the same lines, there was the head and shoulder. There was the projection from the head to the neckline, and what do you see? It played out to the T. I mean, this is textbook case. So, Maurits, I mean, you actually helped us tonight to show a beautiful head and shoulder. There's the head and shoulder formation playing out to the bottom, and now you're asking me if you want to buy it, and now you identify a beautiful inverse head and shoulder, and let's hope that you're right. Then it can go all the way up. Look at that. There's the projection, and then it can go all the way up to the top and give us a brand new high. Then because he's asking about Nova Lifestyle, and I mean this is also a share listed on the Nasdaq, and I would like to see if I can maybe give him a good buying place. Oh yes, look at this. Because he brilliant share to point out for us. First of all, look at that ugly double top. It did not play out because it went almost to zero, but what do I see here? I mean, after this ugly sell-off that we're seeing here, I think you're on the brink of giving us a nice share here. There you are. And for me personally, why do I like it? And you guys know that I like this formation. Freezer bottom, a beautiful hammer, inverse hammer, a beautiful bullish engulfing candle, another one that is a little bit hesitant. I can tell you, Teminkosi, if this share can get above 156, we can easily see a beautiful V reversal. I mean, look at the sell-off, and it can give us a beautiful V reversal to the upside. So yes, if you want to buy it, my friend, buy it above 156. Make use of a stop loss of 114. And where's my targets? My targets are 170, 172, 179, 183, 187, and even as high as 193 in time to come. Thank you so much for pointing out the share to us. I think there's quite a few of us that will maybe look at it. And the reason why, I mean, all the regulations in the world is slowly but surely is getting removed. I mean, Europe did it. I think America is busy doing it. It's only South Africa that's a little bit behind the curve, if you can say that. I mean, if the lifestyle business starts to pick up and the COVID and all these things starts to disappear, maybe you've got a wonderful share here. Maybe can give you a 10 or 15 or even a 20% to the upside. Bobby, I can remember that you asked about Barrack Gold. I think it was you that asked about it, but if it wasn't you, a few weeks ago I actually said I like the chart. Reason being, there was the low, there's another low, that's a classic double bottom. And I said, listen, above this level, in actual fact, I said that evening, maybe you're a little bit late to chase in and buy the stock, but if you're a momentum trader, yes, you can buy it. And there's my level. My level was buy it above 21.20, and look at my projection from the bottom here of the double top, or double bottom, and if you project it to the upside, look what happened. There you are. It almost went exactly to the place. Hit the target 24.11. So I think, Darby, now is the case of you in two minds, because I'll tell you why. Look at this gravestone doji right at the top. Now, I will actually say this is not a gravestone doji, but a long-legged doji. Now, I mean, look at that. A long-legged, there's a top, there's another top, there's a tiny little real body there. I mean, that is tiny. For me, that calls for indecision. Now, if you see a candle like that, with a tiny real body, a nice upper shadow, lower shadow, that is indecision. So for me personally, I'm also a little bit unsure. So Tabi, I will say if it breaks below that little low of that line, then I will think of locking in my profit in Barrack Gold. There you are. If it breaks below 23.40, I will say, listen, it's maybe time to lock in some profit. Because then this uncertainty will be out of the way and the guys will lock in some profit. So, two things. If it breaks above that, of course, then you can think it can go to 26.07. Sorry, above 26.07, it can maybe go to a brand new high. And let's see where it can go to then. Above 26.07, it can easily go to 27.44 and even 29.60. I just want to say that the commodity counters, you must always remember, when there's a shortage, or in the case of gold, when there's fear going around, people chase in and they buy it and they push it usually much higher than you think. But when something turns around and suddenly a few mines starts to produce more gold, and remember always that profits in gold mining shares or in commodity shares always trigger more supply. So yes, I like Barrack Gold. There's nothing wrong. I mean, if you look at this chart, I just want to show you here, even on the long-term picture here, there you are. It gave a classic buying signal even there, right at the bottom. I just want to show you, I just want to take that out not to confuse you. There you are. There was the initial buying signal at 1974. I mean, a rally from 1974 in gold shares from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. I mean, it's almost a 25% rally. Keep that in mind. Commodity counters has the, almost you can say, the personality that can either shoot to the top, and if they turn around, they can fall further than what you anticipate for. So yes, enjoy it. I hope you had Barrack Gold in your portfolio, and I hope some of the viewers also bought it when we showed it and stick to that stop loss. So I think you sit with a handy profit, but keeps in mind this little candle there right at the top. That little makes me a little bit nervous. Maybe there's some indecision on the go. Well, thank you so much. Visit our website www.fransklerk.com for more info, and we'll chat again.